Conductor.
We are back. First things first, I want to thank everybody that hit Conductor, wehaveaproblem.com and cop the merch.
Conductor.
Your support and your contribution to my art, supporting my art is, it's so near and dear to my heart, and I really appreciate it. Now, in this video, we're going to break down the beat that I made for the RedBull Spiral Cypher.
We live at RedBull Spiral. Let's get it. Hey, yo.
It was exciting working with RedBull. Been a fan of RedBull since they came onto the scene. Working with the home team also is exciting. So not only do I get to work with RedBull, I get to work with Armani Ceasar, Streetz and Jay Worthy. So the home team's involved. Absolutely honored to work with them and continue to work with the home team and RedBull in the future. But enough of that. Let's get into the video. So Streetz management hit me up, Coach Bombay. Hit me up, he said, Conductor, we got this thing with RedBull. It's Rome, Armani, Jay Worthy, and it's RedBull Spiral Freestyle Cypher thing. And he says, we need something for it. We need some heat for it. I was like, all right, well, what's the deadline? He said, the deadline's Monday. This call was on a Wednesday, so short timeline, not even a full week, about a half a week I had. I'm like, dang, man. But I know it's good money because it's the home team. And Coach Bombay is such a fantastic businessman to where I knew this was a positioning thing, and it was worth my while. And RedBull, I've been a fan of RedBull since, they came out. So I've really been fond of RedBull and obviously Bad Influence, Griselda. That's my team. So here we are, right? So I'm trying to think of how I can add value to the situation and how I can be myself. So I thought about it overnight, I remember. Trying to draw inspiration from RedBull and wanting to hear raps, cypher raps. And everybody from age 35 to 40, remember RedBull and vodkas in the club. It was like a big club drink. I don't know if it still is or not, but RedBull and vodkas was kind of like the takeover there for a minute. And I just got to thinking about that and thinking about RedBull Spiral, Freestyle, being drunk, vodka, and feelings of euphoria when you're high and drunk, So when you're on this caffeine high and what happens when you're drunk with it and the room spinning, I just knew that I was gonna have to mash them all up to get what I wanted out of it. And the glue, I remember Thursday morning in the shower, I had like a snap of an idea to all those things I just mentioned. The glue could be the BDP drones.
Conductor, we have a problem.
BDP was 3 MCs, Rome being one, Westside and Stove. So the glue for this RedBull idea that I had in my head was gonna be those drums. Now it's just a matter of, bringing in the euphoria that I wanted. So went through a bunch of samples. So that one felt pretty good. Let's see what else is on here. So that sample felt good. Found another little down piece that I really liked. And then landed on that. So I have those two chunks, and they just felt perfect, man. They just felt perfect. Spawned them together. So I wanted to give it the texture that it needed. Some time stretching, some pitch shifting on certain notes just to hold the phrasing together. So just kind of keep it simple. The thing about a freestyle is you don't want to overshine or outshine the MC. It's just gotta fit that pocket, you know? Down filtered a little bit on the top end. So you can just like ivory, you know, I'm just shaving off the top end of that ivory because the MC's gonna sit right there. So if I can provide a canvas where they gonna be freestyling, I don't want nothing bothering that, you know. And then the drums. Huge. Oh man. I had to turn that up in the headphones. Woo. I would have been doing that shit live though. If they would let me play the beat live, I would have did this live though. That's a nice little element right there, RedBull. Had a producer in there. A freebie. That's a little freebie. The magic of that was being selfless enough to get out of the way because I knew a freestyle was gonna happen. The producer, in my mind, is always setting up the artist for success, valued success. If you want to produce something and create a vision for something, making a bunch of beats and selling a bunch of beats is awesome, especially financially. But when you are put in a position where you have to produce for a situation or make a beat for a situation, your ego's got to shrink. Then out of that spawns the creative whatever, the vortex of that. And that is embedded and we don't know what that is. So you have to shrink down the ego, rely on skill, rely on your ears and the things that God had given you as gifts. Once you got that, then out of that sprouts your creation. And that's what I really, if anything, pride myself on is putting the MC in positions to be fantastic and also combating their brilliance. So Armani, Rome, and Jay Worthy are brilliant writers. They're brilliant MCs with all three different types of styles and vocal textures. I wanted to play my position, give them a palette, and then sit back and watch the fireworks. You know, they just pour gasoline all over all of these ingredients and then let them go. But the inspiration purely came from back in the day, RedBull and vodkas there was a club in Parkville, Missouri, where I went to university. We be on them RedBull and vodkas and they're tough, man. I remember on the news, they did a segment where it's like RedBull and vodkas are killing young adults and whatever. And I remember my mom called me one night. You better not be drinking them things I seen on the news, them RedBull and things on the news, because it's gonna mess you up. Vodka is a depressant. And she's going on and on and on. And I had one in my hand at the time. I'm like, all right, mama, I ain't drink. But them were the glory days, you know? This was a fun instrumental to make, kind of relive my glory days. Shout out to my boy Bradford, Damian, Richie, all the homies, man. And big shout out to RedBull for, you know, allowing me to get in the mix. Coach Bombay, shout out to him, man, for knowing. He just knew. He knew I was going to take it serious. He knew I was going to have it in a timely manner. Like, he said he needed it by Monday. He had it by Monday. I gave him 4 options. Let's see if I can find the other one. Just for funsies, let's see if I can find the other. Yikes. So that little loop was in there. And let's see if I can find another one.
You are now witnessing an adult preview.
Whoa. else was in there?
Conductor, we have a problem. Conductor, we have a problem. Conductor.
Oh, it should have been. I think that was in there, but there, and then there was like two others. I know that one just kind of, it was dope, but it just didn't give me the movement that I wanted for how I was feeling about RedBull. So I just decided to go with the one, obviously, that they used. But yeah, man, that's all I got. Next time, until then, much love. Thank you for the support. Till we see each other again. Peace. Peace.
Conductor, we have a problem.